very good evening to everyone. So today we will see how to fetch OData API through SAP CPI. Okay, so when we are fetching the data, that is a SOAP compound employee API, that is SOAP API. Okay, through SAP CPI. That time also we are going to API Accelerator Hub. Here also we will trigger the API Accelerator Hub. Okay, so just begin. Just start the API Accelerator Hub. So this is the first screen we will see when we open api.sap.com. This is the API Accelerator Hub screen. It is Business Accelerator. We are saying it now. Okay, just go to Explore. After going to Explore, go to Success Factors, SAP Success Factors, APIs. Okay. After going to API, before in SOAP API or SF API, we are going to SOAP. Okay. So this is the employee central data. Okay, basically it will give the entire hierarchy structure. Okay, entire set of a data of employee central, whereas OData provides multiple options. Okay, so there is no need to fetch the entire set of a data over here. We can fetch the data as per the requirement. Okay, for example, we want employment information, just employment information we want. So just we are going to the employment information. There is no need to fetch the entire set of a data over here. Okay. So just go to the references, API preference, mjob. Okay. Mjob. Go through once this API consumption also. Mjob, yeah. Try it out option is there. Just click on the try it out option. Plus mjob option. Just click this mjob option. Okay. So there is an environment option. There is a pre-inbuilt environment option sandbox. We can also connect the success factor system. Okay. So over here, add environment, add new, we can also connect. So it basically works like a postman. Okay. But there is no need to connect success factor system over here. We will check it. We will check this check this entire system or entire this entities in the postman itself. Okay. Just run it. So you can see that, okay, so there is a 200, okay, okay. So we have to copy paste this URL from here, okay. Just copy paste this URL from here. Control. After clicking this, we have got the already the, yes, okay, we got already got this URL. Okay, we copied the URL over here. Okay, we copied the URL. After copying the URL, okay, so we went to Business Accelerator Hub, Success Factors, API, OData V2, and we also got the endpoint from over here. Okay, so some of the key points before using the postman into using the postman. Okay, basically we will use this endpoint to the postman. Okay, the key points to be remembered is that OData operations, it is not stateful in nature. Okay, so there must be an authentication and authorizations when we are running through the postman, that endpoint. Okay, we can also reuse the session. Okay, these are the some key points we have to remember. Permissions for API. So whenever we are fetching the data from OData API, so these highlighted ones, we have to go through this API, go to this OData, go to this permission ones. Okay, so basically, OData API basic authentication configuration, it will help us to restrict the specific IP address. Okay. The second one is the OData API audit log. It provides some ID and about the API. That is, we can see over here the log status, okay, of in the success factor systems. Okay, and the another one is the last one is the OData API metadata refresh and export. Okay, if we will add a new field, okay, is added, so we can change in metadata, then we have to just refresh it. Okay, so these three permissions we have to go through once, okay, before fetching the data. So just see, as I'm having the access of the success factor system, so we can see once, okay. Okay, I just copy paste this name. API. It's not working over here. Yes, it is working. So, what are the three rules? First, you will see the audit log. Okay, this is the audit log screen. We can see the logs over here. Okay, multiple number of logs whenever we are running the query, we can see the shit over here. Okay, it is under the asset system. Okay, so this is one feature, or this is the one permission. Okay, we have to go through it once. Then the another permission we have to say is this SAP OData basic authentication configuration. Okay. This is the another screen I'm talking about. This is the OData API metadata refresh and export. Okay, this is another screen whenever we are adding a new metadata. Okay, just we have to refresh it from here. Okay, always to the refresh part over here. Okay, just refresh it once. After refreshing it, yes, we refreshed it successfully. Okay. This is the second rule. There is no need to go to the third rule. Okay, this is the basic authentication. Okay, so it is providing the basically it is giving the access to the specific IP based on the specific IP address. Okay, so this is these three rules we have to go through it once if we are having access to the success factors. Okay, after this permission for APIs, we will see the pagination. Okay, so basically, pagination will help us to restrict and pull the record. So whenever we are fetching the data, so pagination also plays a very vital role over here. Okay, so it helps us to pull the records. So there are two types of paginations over here. One is the client side and another one is the server side. Okay, client side basically we use for the UI development. Okay, for pulling out the data, and whereas the server side we are using for the integration scenario. Okay, so we will mainly focus on the server side only because the server side we are using in the integration scenario. Okay, under the server side again it is divided into two parts. Okay, the cursor based and the snapshot based. Okay, so when the data is huge or in a bulk, it is recommended to use the server snapshot base. That is, in the integration, we usually use the bulk amount of data only. So it is recommended and it is always preferred to use the server snapshot base. Okay, so as we see that the server side, okay, is for the integration scenario, and under the server side, we are using this server snapshot base pagination. Okay, so the client side consists dollar top and dollar skip. Okay, and whereas the server side consists the dollar filter, dollar order by, and the dollar expand. Okay, so we will see this all three, all these two dollar filter and order by in our postman. Okay, as we are fetching the data for the integration scenario. Okay, so now we will see the OData query, third one. Okay. So as you know earlier we copied the endpoint, okay, from the business accelerator hub. Okay. So we got the link something like that. Yes, we got this link. Okay, we got this link. I will try to explain how actually it is coming. Okay. So you can see that https sandbox.api.com in place of this, okay, underscore success factors underscore OData v2 mchop, okay, dollar, it is the query basically, okay, dollar top is equals to 20. So this dollar 20 will give the top 20 records, okay, from based on this emp employment. Okay, so we have used this M employment. Based on this M employment, we will go get the top 20 records. Okay, so in place of this http sandbox.api.sap.com, we will paste the endpoint, okay, which is provided by the success factor team. Okay, so this endpoint is provided by the success factor team with respect to the suffix OData v2. Okay, with respect to this OData, you can see that OData v2 and the name of the entity that we have to fetch. Okay, as we know now, as we got familiar now that OData is not fetching the entire set of a data of the employee central. For example, I want only the data of the employee job. Okay, so we have to write the key name or entity name over here, API key name over here. For example, API name, okay, M job question mark. Okay, so this is how the OData query is created. Okay, so just we will go to the now Postman screen. Okay, so this is the screen. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that, okay, HTTPS, okay, API 68. This is the endpoint. I got it from the success factor team. Okay, this is the endpoint. We copied this endpoint from the, for example, sandbox. Okay, in there is a sandbox details written over there, but we have to replace that endpoint with this endpoint. Okay, as we are fetching the data from the OData v2 and the name of the entity that I required. Okay, I want the data that I want to fetch the data. Okay, so you can compare it now. Okay, OData v2 m job over I have written here, but I want the user data. Okay, user details. So you can see the user details, question mark. Okay, we can also write it from over here also. Okay, as per our conveniency. Okay, so after question mark, I user I want the user ID, status, and the username. Okay, so under the user, I have selected these three items only, as there are multiple number of data in the user also. Okay, so I selected this particular three tags. Okay, and I use the dollar filter option where I use dollar filter is equals to, it will filter out the data as there are multiple number of data for this user ID also, status also, and username also. Okay, so dollar filter is equals to user ID equals to EQ means equals to this user ID. We are fetching the data or we are fetching the details of this user ID. Okay, which will give this tag of this user. Understood?
Yes, I.
Okay, just run it. So you can see that we got 200. Okay, just copy paste it so you will get an idea what I'm trying to say. Okay, so 10052, I have written the user ID. These three tag we use in select. So on so that is why this three tag came. Okay, in the it is equal to, you can see in the equal to I 1009, 10052, and 1001113. You can see it also over it from here. Okay, 10052. Okay, 10052. You can see 10013. Okay, and 10009. Okay, so these three data we got because these three data we got because we have filter out this data. We have selected these three tags, so we got these three tag only of the key of user. Title is user. Okay. Yes, that is only. Yes. Okay. Any doubt still here?
No.
Okay. So whenever we are fetching the data, okay, so it will always give us the latest record. Okay. So this is the latest record we got from the employee job. Oh, sorry, the user. Okay. For example, this is another example. Okay. So now in place of user, I use the m job, same query. Okay. Selected the user ID, company, and start date, end date, last modifier on last modified date. Here I have added multiple other tags. Okay. So dollar filter is equals to now in place of multiple user ID, I have just used one user ID. Okay. Just send it. You can see that the user ID is the which we have mentioned the filter. Okay. EQ stands for equals to 100 start date. This one last modified date. The select item we have already selected. This all the items come over here. Okay, the tags. Okay, that for 9999121113. It means that the event is still ongoing. Okay, so there is no end date. The event which is not completed, then it will show this date only. Okay, the event is ongoing now. Okay, it still does not have its end date, so it will show like this. Okay, and it is giving you the latest record after running. Okay, another very important point I forgot to tell. Okay, so before running to this endpoint, there is an authorization option over here. Okay, so there is a basic oath, or we always select this basic oath. Okay, whenever we are fetching the data, we have to write the user ID and password, which is recommended by the SuccessFactors team, which is provided by the SuccessFactors team. So we have write the username. For example, in our case, it is SFAPI at the rate the company ID. Okay, as many people are writing the SFAPI and the password, as it is not running. Okay, so important point, you note down it, as we have to always give the user ID at the rate with at the rate the company ID and the respected password. And after writing all these details, you have to send it. Okay, without this, it will not run. Okay, so it will fetch the data of the success factors. Okay, always in every query we have to do this. Okay, so as I already told, whenever we are fetching the data, okay, it will give the latest record. If I want, for example, the historical record, so what can I do? I can do, like, for example, same query I used. Okay, success factor, the same endpoint, m job only I'm taking. Select dollar, select user ID. These are the fields I want. Okay, in my output. Okay, filter out EQ is equals to, now I have selected this. Sorry. This two user ID. So based on this two user ID, I want these details of M job. Okay. And from date, I have used here one another keyword. Okay. From date means I want the data, I want the detail after this date. Okay. After this date. Okay. So normally what it is giving, normally it is giving the latest records. Okay. But I want, now I want after 1990-0101, the entire set of a data. Okay. So just I'm running it. Okay, you can see that. Control C. Okay. So from date. Okay, so you can see that. Sorry. Yes. So you can see that the end date is 2013 12/31. Okay. As what we have mentioned in our query. Copy this once. So Okay, so we mentioned this date. Okay, after this date, I want the entire set of record. We can see the start date 1995. Okay, so after this 1990, it is only there. Okay, so it is the one record. Second record, we can say the start date is 214. Same after 214. Same similar, the end date is also there. Same 1996. Our condition is 1990. You can see the start date and end date. Similarly, here also the start date and end date you can see. Here also 2016, 1996, 2016, and here also 1996. And this date I already told it is an ongoing event, yet it has no end date. So it is showing like that. Okay. But it started on 1996-001. Okay. It is suiting our condition. 2017-0101. And the last one is 2018-04. Sorry, and this is the last one, 2018-04, and 2024-12-28. Okay, so with the help of two date, we got the historical data. Okay, from which date we want the set of data. Okay, with the help of two date, we got it. Okay, so this is the one example of historical data. So basically, not we have done much. Just we are sorry from date, not to date. Okay, so with the help of from date, we use this. We got this historical data. What if we want the data from, for example, 2020 to 2025, for example? So what can we do now over here? So you can see, okay, same query I use, okay, selected the tags that I want, okay, filter out the data, okay, for which user ID I want, which particular user ID I want the data. Okay, now I use the from tag and to date or from date and to date. Okay, and order by is equals to start date. So basically, what it will do, it will give the data based on the start date. Okay, it will arrange the it will arrange this entire data, entire XML tag or the entire data we can say based on the start date. Okay, so we use this order by is equals to start date. So we can see I also written it will help us to arrange the data in the sequential format. Okay, so you can see, okay, so I have written from 22501. Okay, this is the June recent year only, recent year 2025-01 to 2025-06-01. Just run it once. Okay, after running, we got 200. Control C. Okay, so we can see that our end date is 2025-04-25. Okay, and our start date is 2/18/04/15. Okay, as our start date is not fitting in the condition, but I'm trying to say is that even though it is started before the condition, but its end date comes under this condition. So we got this tag. Okay, end date is comes under this condition. So we started this. We got this detail. We got this data. Okay, so we got this data. In the second one, we can see that the start date 2024-2026 and the end date is 2025 for 28. So we got this second data also. And the third one also we can see 2024-04, which suited in the condition. And also this ongoing, as I already told multiple times, as there is no end date, still it is ongoing. Okay, so we can see this data. Okay, so we also familiar now with from date and to date concept. Okay, so we are saying end date. Okay, whenever we are fetching the data with the help of from date and to date, so we have to see the end date and start date. Okay, it is not mandatory every day. Every time the start date will be in the condition. So go on always be in this condition only. Okay, so now again we will see. Okay, now firstly we use 250601. Now we are using 2025-0425. Okay, just send it. Okay, we will see this afterwards. Okay. Already have the answer over here, I think. Yes. Yes, just copy it and paste the dates from date and to date. Now you can see that, okay, we only got this date. We only got this single record. Okay, why is it so? Because earlier we used a 2025 060-01, but over here we use 2025-04. So the rest of the three data is eliminated. Okay. Start date, as I already told, we already told that even though it is started before the before the from date, but it is ended in the respected condition. It is from date and to date. So we got this data. Okay. Any doubts still here?
Fine.
Now another one.
Your voice is
At a
cracking.
time should be the same query I have taken. Hello. Now also it is cracking.
No, now it's clear.
Okay. Yes. So same query I have taken, same M job, same select user ID company and everything. User ID equals to I have taken this particular 10021. Okay. So last modified date time I have taken now. Okay, so which is greater than the date time. Okay, so I have taken this date time, so it will give the record after this date, particular date. Okay, particular date, that is after 2024-001, it will give the entire set of a entire set of a data. Okay, just run it once. We got the answer. We got the answer. Just copy it. Okay, so after that particular date, we only got the modified date, that is last modified date time. What it will give, it will fetch all the records which is modified after this particular date. Okay, so after this particular date, what it is doing actually, after this particular date, the data which is modified, it will only give those data. Okay, so after this particular date, only this data is updated. You can see that the start date is 2025 04/29, but the last modifier is 2025 026. Okay, the dates are different. Okay, the dates are different. Okay, so it is modified after that particular date. Okay, you can see that the end time still ongoing. Okay, so there is no end time. This is one last modify scenario. Another one also I have created for your better understanding. Okay, same query. Now I am using last modified is greater than the date time and to date. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, for example, I want the data which is something like that only I have created. So last modified should be greater than this date. Okay, so 2018-069. From this, I want the data till till to date 2023-12/02. Okay, just run it. So we want the data after 2018-69 to 23-12/02. One thing, just copy this. Okay, so 2018-06, after this we want data till 1202. Means basically we will not see the data 2024, something like that. Okay, so you can see 2018-06. Just give me a second. Yeah, okay. So you can see that 2018-069. Okay, so same 28069, same last modified. Okay, 28069, the same, and the another one is 200623, same. Okay, well, it is coming under the condition. Okay, clear now? From date and to date. Sorry, yes, from date and to date kind of.
Yes, sir.
Now we can see that another example where we are just focusing on to date. Sorry, I have already, I said that from date and to date, we just created one last modified date should be greater than this to date. Okay. I think we have, or we don't have from date and to date. Okay. It will be fine, no issue. Okay. So last modified should be greater than, again, I have taken another example. In the earlier example, we use this date to 2023, something like that. Okay. Now we are using uh, our last modified date is 2018-062. Our to date is 2018-0409. Just make a, just uh, see it carefully. To date is 2018-0409. Okay. When I will run this, okay. So it is showing, okay, same date, same date. Okay. As the last modified should be greater than this. Okay. So this is a date, okay, which is modified. So you can see the same date over here. Whereas, sorry, whereas here we are getting the 4 records. Okay. The last one is 20-02-623. Okay. Because we mentioned the condition 2023-1202, but here we use the condition to date 2018-0409. So it is not coming. It eliminated the one data, one set of data. Okay. Last one you can see the last modified date should be greater than this, and my to date is this. Okay. So when I run it, 200, okay, I got a control C. Okay. 0609, 2018-0609, and 2018-0609. Okay. Here, uh, end date is 27/01/01. Here you can see same date because we have used to date over here is 440. Okay. Whereas over here we used 23/12/02. Okay. So we got one additional set of a data 2018-0409. So we got one less set of a data as we changed the true date condition. Similarly, over here, we got one less set of a data because we changed the date over here. Okay. Any doubts still here?
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So now we will see just one example how we are deploying this set of a data with the help of fetching success factor data endpoints and all in our CPI system. I have created one scenario. It is visible now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I use one HTTP as a sender. Okay, it is a request reply. It is a content enricher and groove script. Don't focus on this. Our main aim is to see the endpoints and all. Okay, so given the HTTP, I given this name. Okay, in the success factor adapter. Okay, this is the endpoint. Okay, we are using. Okay, we are using over here. You can see that. Okay, it is provided by the success factor team, so don't need to worry. Okay, as we are using OData V2. Okay, API accessing from OData. Okay, so slash OData slash V2 internet. In the authentication, there are multiple options are there. O2 simultaneous. I also created one O2 simultaneous. Okay, but there is no need. Okay, I have created authentication. I selected the basic. This is the credential I created. Okay, so in the credential, we have to give the name of the username and the password. That same name which we have mentioned over here, and we have to deploy it, and we have to use under this. Okay, for better understanding, I'll show it to you. Okay, this after this, here is another adapter of success factor. Use this address. This is the endpoint and credential name, and use this credential name. Okay, just see the credential. You can see I have created this credential. You can see that I have given the username and the password, and we have to deploy it. Okay, as I already deployed. Okay, after this, just deploy it. We have written some Groovy. Also, just go through this. We have go through this Groovy, written this Groovy script. Okay. Log, we log this messenger dot underscore. Okay, and all. Property map dot get. Okay, for this field. Okay, which I want define this field. Okay, just don't focus on this. Correct our main aim, how we can fetch the data through CPI. Use the endpoint, return the credential. In the credential, I have given the username and password, which is provided by the success factor team. Okay, the same username and password which we have used in the Postman. Okay, after you deploying, just go to manage integration suite. Copy this endpoint from here. Okay, I'll give the username and the password. Okay, of the client ID and client password of your respected tenant, as you all familiar with that. Okay, let's deploy it. You can see that we can see the 200. Okay, okay. So this is the tags. Okay, these are the fields which we have passed in the previous script. Okay, so we got this particular tag. Okay, the end date you can see it is all still ongoing. Okay, so we now finally fetch the data. Okay, in our CPI also, I showed you the example. Okay, so any doubts till here?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Now, some of the key points, just we have to go through it once, nothing much more. Uh, Best practice for OData, whenever we are fetching the OData APIs, that is query only modify records. Okay, as we are now familiar with the query, okay, so it is modifying the records as we all know now. Okay, we are using the server side pagination. Okay, if it is possible, just give me a second. Server side pagination. You can see that in the pagination, okay, you can see that in the pagination, are you server snapshot base? Okay, there are two types. Client is there are, I think I explained it over here. Yes, client side, server side. Under the server side, also the cursor base and snapshot base, but it is recommended to use the server snapshot base. So you can see that we use the server snapshot base for a bulk set of a data. Okay, so we are using this pagination. So I told earlier it is a key point you must remember. In the operation details, you can see that there are multiple query options are there. Okay, at that taking the data source user get operation, read, update, upsert. Upsert is nothing but it is the mixture of update and insert. Okay, it is a mixture of update and insert. Okay, then next point is, okay, we have to avoid frequent job runs to get the real-time results. Okay, so we are avoiding the job runs, okay, to get the real-time results. Okay, fourth point, they are telling avoid exclusive queries for a single record. As we as in the postman we use we are targeting for a single record. Okay, you can see this for this single record. So it is not recommended because every time for single record we can't fetch such kind of data. For your understanding purpose, I use this single single fetching. Okay, so it will easy to understand for everyone for this. Okay, so it is not recommended. Okay, sorry. Use dollar batch or dollar filter to get multiple records. So dollar filter we use now. Okay, so it is filtering out the required data we want for you. For that purpose, we are using a dollar filter. Dollar select. Now we are familiar with the select and dollar filter. Okay, we will select the fields. Okay, which we want. Okay, which we required. Okay, so to get only the properties you need. Okay, avoid large expand statements. We are avoiding expand statements. Okay, as we not use expand statements. Okay, so they are also avoiding it. Okay, and use the latest metadata. Okay, as I already showed in the success factor system, we are going to the latest metadata and we are refreshing and export. Okay, so after adding the new data, so we want to always refresh it. Then we have to do the uh, deployment and all. Okay, so this is it from my side. Any doubts you are having?
No, Sahil.
So thank you so much.